This is a podcast from the Queen City Podcast Network.
Welcome to Nerd School.
Nerds! Nerds! Nerds!
Yeah.
Suck it, nerd!
Nerds! Nerds! Nerds!
Suck it, nerd!
Nerds! Nerds! Nerds!
Suck it, nerd!
Visit me, daddy ass.
Welcome to Nerd School.
My name is Low Key. Welcome to the Nerd School podcast. You Jack.
Andy's not coming because he's pissed at Art.
No. I mean, he could be very much, but that's
He's
not the
always
reason
pissed
he's
at me.
not here.
Yeah, no, I guess he's not feeling good. This festival kicks everybody's ass. So
Well, it's also flu season. It's also the rise in COVID cases where we are living. It is 1,000 things happening at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's tired,
It's the apocalypse, man.
which is why, again, I keep trying to pimp out Art Stymie.
I love how
Get
we either
us.
end with it or start with it.
Well, I'm just saying, if we say it enough times, somebody
Speaking into
listening.
Speaking
gonna be
into
like-
existence.
Yes, I also want a piece of Art Stymie, and I'm willing to pay this amount of money. And then one of us can pull off of all the work we do to focus, and we can live lavishly off of Art Stymie.
Yeah, I tried to sell that to Christine this past weekend. Didn't work.
If we get more bidders on there, we can do time slots, whatever it takes.
Right.
Special time slots for you to hug Art. Get real close and personal.
And then just to be clear, this is us reviewing Captain Marvel.
Yes, this is
Yes.
the Captain Marvel episode, which is
This
all
is
about
as-
women
As we
objectifying
talk
men.
about Captain Marvel,
Standard
why
and
it's taking us
practices
so long to
Came
get
in
here.
hot.
We have
Standards
to
and
talk about
practices
us
came
financially
in hot.
growing. I'm just trying to think of the podcast. Have you done
Normally-
that financially?
Normally
You
she
thought of our
tried to
financial
pull
future?
us back, but she came in hot.
Nope. That's not hot. That's financially responsible.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not bad.
No, it's a financially sound decision that could benefit the whole group. So
Well,
I might be the bigger person here.
I have found a film synopsis of Captain Marvel on a website called themoviespoiler.com. And this was sent in by somebody named Jeremy, I guess. So I figured, let's see how somebody else summarizes something. And then I added a couple bits in there that they didn't want to mention that I was interested in. So shall we just, even though we don't have Professor Andy, should we just jump into Captain Marvel? Are we all ready to talk Captain Marvel?
We should.
Yeah, we can talk Captain Marvel.
Do you like this, TBJ, because it's so empowering to women?
Said this before. Like Issa Rae, first and foremost, I'm going to root for everyone Black, and then I'm going to root for all women.
Okay. You said,
So you're basically saying Maria, Monica, and then Carol.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, my fault. Maria, Monica, Sam. So does Sam come before Carol, or does Carol come
No.
before Sam?
Women empowerment first.
So it's Maria, Monica, Carol, then Sam.
Yeah.
So-
They just like they inch each other just a wee bit. Listen, this is, I know somebody's like, oh my God, that sounds incredibly racist. Here's the thing. One, you can't be racist against white people because it's a system. Two,
until we lose the power.
it's a power thing, but two, historically, women and women of color specifically have the lowest draw. They say at box office, that's a lie. They say they're the least interesting. We earn less. And so I'm going to put my money and my like hype behind something so it can earn more or be in front of people more especially if it's women led, especially if some badass women are part of it.
Now, who does Issa Rae play in this?
No, that's a quote from Issa Rae.
I missed.
The
I think you
red carpet once. Issa Rae went to the I think she was at the Oscars. She was either at the Oscars or Golden Globes. And one of the reporters is like, "Who do you hope to see win tonight?" And Issa Rae says, "I'm rooting for everybody black."
Oh, yeah. Okay, that sounds familiar. Yes. Okay, I was gonna say I don't know who she plays in this, and
Like,
then
which scroll was she?
well, I came across a website saying she's
We'll dig later, and we find Issa Rae walking in the background.
well, she's supposed to be Spider-Woman coming up someday.
Yes.
Because she was in the last Into Spider-Verse movie.
Oh, she was in the Into Spider-Verse, but wasn't that a cartoon, or she was a voice?
yeah, but
Jessica
it doesn't
Drew.
mean she wasn't in it. Have you seen voice actors act? Have you watched them?
Only,
They're acting.
yeah, but like, do they draw a character that looks like her, like they sometimes do, or not?
They take anytime there are animated characters, they try and take a little bit if they can, if they know ahead of time from the person, but sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
But did the Spider-Woman, was it like the Jessica whoever Spider-Woman
Jessica
from
Drew.
the comics, Drew?
Jessica Drew, yeah.
And the cartoon, I saw the cartoon that was on Disney Plus that's from the 70s or whatever.
You saw what?
There's a Spider-Woman cartoon on Disney Plus from the 70s, I think. And it's I wasn't familiar with Spider-Woman. Whoops. I accidentally hit a button. Hello.
You doing it with Peter
there?
Parker as
We're
a
still
woman?
here.
It's okay. No, yeah, I didn't know. Dang it. I keep like trying to minimize the screen and it keeps telling me to end the meeting. So I'm trying to get my internet. Okay. I didn't know. I thought there was a Spider-Woman that dressed like Spider-Man, the same colors, but this Spider-Woman's all red. Like wears a red suit with yellow. That's Jessica Drew, but I thought there was a spider. Is there a Spider Girl from the old
There's
comics?
been a Spider Girl out there.
Wasn't there like just a female?
Are you okay? A female.
A female. Oh, yeah, Spider Girl. I just looked up Spider Girl. There's one that just looks like Spider-Man, but with a woman's body. But there's Ghost Spider. That's a different one. Anyway,
And there's
sorry.
May Parker. There's a lot of
All right, I'm getting off track here.
Okay, back to Captain Marvel. Back to Issa Rae.
Yeah, back to
Her
Issa
character
Rae.
is
So
funny.
you hate Carol Danvers because she's not black.
No, I do not. Don't you put that out there this evening. I do not. But anytime you tell me unproblematically that a woman is going to take the lead in a film, I'm in. And we have to acknowledge how much pushback Brie Larson got when she took this role. People were cruel, like cruel.
What do you
out
mean?
in the nerd world.
What?
People were not happy with her casting choice.
Why? Because
Nerds
why?
are douches. Some nerds are douches.
yeah,
But what would be the knock on Brie Larson? Because she's like, did they want somebody like less attract? I mean, more attract. I mean, what is the attractiveness? Is it the body shape? Do they want somebody?
I don't
Bigger?
even know
Like,
what it boiled down to. It just got so big. Who knows, like the original root?
People are
of
mad.
it?
Nerds are mad about anything. It seems like they'll
They
find
were,
something to
but
get mad.
some of them just didn't see the point in having a Captain Marvel movie at
Okay,
all.
that I can
And
see
then
more.
part
than,
of it was
yeah.
like that. Oh, why do women need to lead the movies now? Like, what is this agenda kind of shit? And then some of it was just not great. And unfortunately, some of her male MCU counterparts did not do the greatest job of defending her.
Ooh.
And it wasn't like malicious, but silence speaks. But who did stick up for Brie in her role?
Let me guess, Chris Evans.
No.
Oh, because I read something on the internet today that said they're good friends, so I thought maybe.
Yeah, probably, but publicly, who was like, I think she did a great job in this film.
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Sam Jackson.
Oh yeah, Sammy J. He's great in this movie, by the way.
Right? But do you not?
Yeah.
I spent the time, and sorry, we have not even gotten to dialogue yet. We just got to the drama that happened with this film. I kept staring at him the whole time, thinking, "What did they do to his face?" Because clearly he's younger.
Yeah, it's weird,
but-
and his hairline is. I think it's
Yeah.
because they made his hairline so low, and even young Samuel L. Jackson never had that low of a hairline. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what we all saw Samuel L. Jackson in the movies he was in when he was younger, and he still was almost bald. You know, like he never had that hairline, so it looks weird on him. I think is the weird, but he looks good.
Same.
I mean, they did a good job of making him look young.
They did. I just kept staring funny. But let's roll back to the beginning of the film.
Same with the other
again.
guy. Colson.
It's
Colston. They made him.
You say Colston?
Is it Colson or Colston?
Colson.
So
No
see,
T.
my cousin named his son Colston, and I was thinking he named him after this guy, but he named him after a Michigan football
You
player.
forget the son of Cole thing from Thor?
Son of Cole. Oh yeah, Cole's son. Yeah, son of Cole. I did forget that. All right. Well, Captain Marvel is directed by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck.
The 2019 film.
Also written by them.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. And Geneva Robertson Dworet, whoever that is. I don't know any of these people. But yeah, so do you guys remember when this came out, was anybody like leery about these directors or the writers, or what was, do you remember any of this?
I remember it's the Brie Larson hate.
They're just the Brie Larson hate.
It was big. Like, I want you to go back when we finish and just go, like, it was not stupid critiques, like it was brutal and
really
it was nasty.
Was she known before this? Like, was she a known actress from other things?
Yeah,
because I'd never heard of her until I saw this. But
you've seen her. We did we not have this discussion where we told you where you saw her before this movie?
Not me. I haven't seen her. You got to remember, I don't
Yes,
see. I haven't seen shit.
You saw her in this podcast series. You've seen her in a film that we've done on this podcast before now.
That's right. Last episode, or the last episode you guys did without me, I listened to it on the plane to Kentucky, and you guys mentioned that she was in Sam Shepard versus the World.
Scott Pilgrim.
Sam Shepard versus the World.
Scott
Pilgrim versus the World, which I don't remember that movie at all. I don't remember her.
You don't remember any of it? She's the girl they're fighting for.
I just remember he wants to sleep with a child or something, right? Is that the thing is?
No, his girlfriend is in high school, but she's not the one he sleeps with.
I don't remember.
I
remember Michael Cera was in it, but I don't remember.
Yes. Brie is his love interest. But I will say she, like, her probably like award-winning, oh shit, this girl is really good, but this woman is really good, is probably her portrayal in the movie Room, which is based on a book, which is really good and heartbreaking. It's about a woman who is kidnapped and captured in her life in a room, and she gives birth to her kidnapper's kid and their existence. She was so good in that damn movie, but it is creepy.
Wait, so Brie Larson in Scott Pilgrim is not one of the, like, he's not the love interest for Michael Cera.
No, she is
punk rock girl.
She is the one. She's the main love interest. She's not the girlfriend. If you remember, he has a girlfriend in high school he doesn't do anything with.
That's her.
There's a girl that he's interested in. That's her. Where he has to fight all the ex-boyfriends. That's Brie. That's her character.
God. She's got the purple hair?
She's got the colorful hair, yes.
Oh, that's Brie Larson? No, I'm looking at pictures of her right now. That looks nothing
So
like
it's
Brie
almost
Larson.
as if we did not go over this movie on this podcast.
I don't think we did. That
We
cannot be
did.
Brie Larson. That
It
looks nothing
is.
like her.
Why would we lie to you about what?
Because I think you guys are now have got it figured out. Art Star and TBJ are creating the Mandela effect, and you are
No.
changing the world as I exist in it. and
Or you
change
just don't pay
memories.
attention enough
Or
to
that.
notice.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's either that or you guys are in control of the universe and changing memories.
I
One of the
can promise you we are not controlling the universe. If we were, it'd be a lot more chaos because we wouldn't agree on the universe if we were controlling the universe.
That girl looks nothing like Brie Larson.
It's so very much her.
I'm sure it is. Because oh wait, but now it does. When she's got the blonde hair. But they
Hair does
show this
not
punk rock
dramatically-
girl with color.
You're treating her like Clark Kent Superman. She changed
Yeah,
one
it
thing,
is
she's
like that for me.
unrecognizable. No, that's her. And I do think I read somewhere that one of the reasons she was chosen as Captain Marvel in this movie and what has been done in many MCU films is they wanted someone who could carry the humanity of it all, because you cannot just rely on the hero aspects.
Wait, I think I might be confused here. Let me can I share my screen for a second?
Sure, but
can I do that? We can cut this out, but is this because I think maybe I'm confused which one's her. How do I share my
I
screen?
think we're
you said the
confused.
purple
No,
hair. She does have purple hair in the
She
film.
does?
purple hair one isn't that
Okay,
Mary
right here.
Elizabeth?
This is Brie Larson
Yes.
right
No.
there. Aren't
No,
saying
that's
Yes.
no, that's not Brie. Brie was
Yes,
Envy.
that is.
Envy. No, that's Mary Elizabeth Winstead. That's Syndulla from Ahsoka.
No, that's
Okay.
not.
She was one of the ex-girlfriends.
Yeah, she was the blonde ex-girlfriend. She wasn't this person. That's why I'm confused, because that's not her face. Because I was Googling, looking through pictures, and it was like, now I can't get
Go
back
back.
to it.
I'm
Dang
blaming Joe for his memory, and it's mine. Hold on. Please hold.
it. Do, 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 do,
Hold as
do.
we confirm the following details.
I can't
You-
get to it.
What are you doing now with your screen?
There it is.
Now go to on this page you're looking at. Does it have Brie Larson on it? Because it says here are 10 actors you may have forgotten were in it. Chris Evans, Aubrey Plaza. Go.
You're right. I am thrown off. Good job.
Okay, so at least I'm not as crazy. Let me
Yeah, so that's Brie Larson, the one you just went past.
Yeah, so because I came across another picture from that, and she's blonde, and I was like, okay, that looks like Brie Larson. But this lady, I didn't remember being Brie Larson, but she was a smaller character. That at least makes sense. So I am insane, but not as insane. And I now don't think you guys are changing
you're not.
memories.
And my
We're
memory's not
planting
strong
memories in
either.
your head.
We are getting
We
older.
wouldn't agree on the same memories, so you cannot lean on that.
Well, are you at least mind? Can you mind control Art Star? To show
If
us
I could, would
timing?
we fight all the time?
That's just me
Yes.
fighting the programming. I'm fighting the programming.
No.
So
I have
Captain
no
Marvel
intention.
opens with Carol Danvers, Brie Larson finding herself in the midst of a crash, and Annette Bening standing over her, aiming a gun at somebody. And Carol wakes up from this on the planet Hala of the Kree Empire.
Holla.
You know, holla back, girl.
And she visits her commander, Jan Rog, played by Jude Law, who refers to Carol as Veers. And the two spar for a bit before they head off to join their teammates on a mission. So I was already like completely confused. It's like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
I kind of want to go back so I can see you in that moment.
yeah, I was very confused this whole time. I was just like, well, which is it? Is she a Kree alien with blue blood coming out of her nose, or is she a human in a Top Gun movie, type of
Oh,
thing?
yeah, Top Gun. Woo woo.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
a Top Gun movie.
It felt like Top Gun, the flashbacks to her like dancing in Guns N' Roses and in the bar, and the Top Gun guy.
Top
telling
Gun
her to-
itself is not a bad movie. It just has the misfortune of having Tom Cruise. So
Can you
Yeah, he
imagine?
sucks.
Can you
He
imagine
does.
if in that scene, like Tom Cruise just like walked in, or like on the wall, it was just like a picture of Maverick, just like
They could have.
there.
It felt very Tom Cruise.
that
It
would have
felt
been a very
Top
meta
Gun-ish.
moment, but I'm glad they didn't.
I mean, because it felt like, because it's set in, well, I guess it wasn't the 80s, it was more the 90s, but still, just that bar felt very Top Gun-ish. Because I've only been, like I said, I've tried to watch Top Gun probably a dozen times. I've only gotten a third of the way into the movie, and I just turn it off because it's boring. But
Because it's Tom Cruise. I get it. It's
I've
fine.
watched. I feel like I watched a million times, like the bar scenes with Kelly McGillis and the volleyball.
No, it definitely has very much those vibes.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just the vibes of like fighter pilots and where they hang or whatever.
Now, how did you guys feel about Jude Law being Jan Rog?
I forgot he was in the film.
Yeah, he's very kind of forgettable character, I guess.
A forgettable character. I think when I think of Jude Law, like I am stuck on 90s rom-com Jude Law.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
What was he in
So
in
I
the
have
90s? I don't know him well either.
all those British stupid rom-coms. And then the last one he did was The Holiday. That it sticks in my head. It's not the last one he obviously did. He did The Holiday with Kate Winslet and Cameron Diaz, where they switch houses.
Oh, geez. That
Never
sounds dumb
mind.
as hell. Annette Bening.
It's not dumb.
Can I do a quick ando?
Yeah, do an ando.
Young Rog was created by Stan Lee and Gene Colan. The character first appeared in Marvel Superheroes number 12, December of 1967.
Oh.
He is
Now
a
you
military.
tell us you gotta do the comic book version of Captain Marvel.
He is a military commander of the Kree alien race who was sent to Earth on behalf of the Supreme Intelligent in order to promote Kree genetic superiority. The character is a foe of Carol Danvers and was indirectly responsible for her transformation into Miss Marvel. Oh, whoa.
Sounds a little regular, little pure blood nation-ish.
Yeah, totally. Like
sounds a little Aryan nation-ish.
Yeah. The Kree, yeah. It's interesting.
Now you got to give us the comic book backstory of Captain Marvel since Andy's not here, aren't?
Andy, you go with me.
I say, should we do that now or as we get closer to when she becomes Captain?
Should do it now because you've already introduced her waking up in this world.
Yeah, she's the first one. So yeah.
About this time, this is where Andy would have told us the backstory of the comic version.
And I'm really interested because I always get confused. I know he's explained a million times between the two Captain, there's a Captain Marvel DC, a Captain Marvel, and one was a guy, one was a girl. Shazam is technically Captain Marvel, and I still don't get it. And Andy gets so deep into the weeds.
The first Captain Marvel is Marvel, who, as we find out later on in the movie, is the character whose face Annette Bening is wearing.
Annette Bening is wearing the face of Marvel.
Right.
And Annette Bening, we know her from, is it Designing Women?
Like what's
Ghostbusters? What's she from?
Did you say Designing Women? First of all,
I know I've seen her a million times, but I can't think of what. Like something with Steve Martin, maybe?
Joe.
Yeah.
Let me just say that Captain Marvel was also created by Stan Lee and artist Gene. I'm calling him Colin. But yeah, it's Colin because it rhymes with Nolan. And this character first appeared in Marvel Superheroes number 12. So Joe, you should probably read Marvel Superheroes number 12.
Marvel Superheroes number 12. So is this just common knowledge? Was Marvel's Captain Marvel before DC's Captain Marvel? Or no? Or did Marvel name Marvel so they could steal Captain Marvel from DC? I feel like DC had Captain Marvel first, but I don't know.
I don't know. But let me just say.
No, I don't know the comments.
I'm not going to go.
Andy can fill us in next
Andy can tell us next week, and he'll yell at you guys.
Ando would say, I'm not going to go deep into.
He wouldn't yell at me. I'm not the comic book nerd. I've never professed to be comic.
I'm not going to go.
Lore is him and art.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go deep into the weeds. But Carol Danvers was actually the 7th Captain Marvel, and she was created by Roy Thomas and Gene Colan, and she first appeared in Marvel Superheroes number 13.
What year is that she first appeared?
March of 1968.
Oh, so that surprises me that the female Captain Marvel was that early, just because they're so misogynistic. Then they probably made her naked though in 68. They probably had her.
She wasn't naked, but her boobs were big. So.
Hey, do you think genetically, like, you ever think about this? Like, men are attracted to boobs because somewhere genetically you want a female to be able to feed your child, and boobs are for
nurture you.
feeding.
Wait, what?
I mean, why else would you like? Why else would people
No,
like
but here's
boobs?
the thing:
Boobs
they
are for
grow and
feeding.
shift if you have children. So they
Yeah, they
grow
get
and
bigger no
shift
matter what.
to do that. So
But like,
I don't know.
how did mankind become obsessed with boobs and why?
But
Like,
not all
what?
mankind. There are men who are obsessed with butts. There are men who are obsessed with legs,
That's true.
butts,
True.
and boobs. So
Yeah, and why butts? Like,
KFC.
it's for shitting and cushioning your seating. Like,
but
why?
then they're round and juicy, and you want to suck them.
They are round and juicy. I mean, I like them too, but I don't know why.
Just you want to squeeze. I think they all
I
have
like
in common.
that joke. I
You wanna
like that.
squeeze them. She's
I
like,
like
you wanna
that.
squeeze them.
He's like, I like them too, but I don't know why. Awesome, Sir Mix-a-Lot throw in there.
I like big butts, and I cannot lie, and I don't know why. No, but I mean, same thing like with, I don't know. I was talking to somebody the other day about somebody was saying generally women are attracted to taller men. Most, generally, and that's a trait. And I was like, so I asked them, I was like, do you think that's because naturally a woman wants somebody who can fight off another prey, or what? Is that why, like, like historically,
Interesting. I never thought about that. I don't
or
think
like,
that's been
I just think of like the science of it, like because we're such like
something embedded in you to think
something,
that is an ideal specimen. But I also think it changes, right? We have for lots of years, and still in other countries, bigger women are like desired, and you're like, yes, I need a healthy woman. I need
a healthy
someone
woman,
who can last and live. But in
bear
America,
children. She looks like a
but
childbearing
we've
woman.
changed that over the years. The beauty standards have changed because of what like media says. So it'd be an interesting study to like really study the male brain.
Yeah, like,
y'all
is
are
it
crazy?
Yeah, how much is coming from your brain? It'd be interesting to look at brain studies and be like, how much is attractiveness coming out of your brain, or how much is coming out of your,
And what part is coming from your medulla oblongata?
or different sectors of your brain that have
right.
different...
But what signals and how much is like environment, right?
Yeah,
because
right.
I don't think it's a coincidence what we've decided as the ideal, I'm quoting here, the ideal look of women.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's not based on reality, and it's always been that way. So like going back to comics and the big ass boobs and the teeny tiny, like, can she walk? Can Barbie walk?
Right.
No, not in her measurements. But
what I think is awesome, and this is kind of
somewhere we decided that was it, and then we've held on to that as a culture, and that's what's in our magazines, and that's what's on our commercials, and that's how we say the standard of beauty. And it's very westernized, right? A lot of it's Western because it's not everywhere,
right?
So I'd love to study why.
And that's just not how most women look. Like, most women have,
no,
like, the average woman has a different body type than the Barbie, and that should be okay, and it is okay.
It is okay.
But Marvel still doesn't do, like, every Marvel woman is, perfectly.
Comic books are going. I mean, let's be real.
Everything's over exaggerated. Everything.
Yeah, that's true.
All the men, like most of the men, most heroes, big, bulky, strong guys. So it's like, it's the way that we perceive people who are superhuman or who are superheroes, like most people like, all right, well, he or she has to have their underwear on top of their stuff.
Outside of their body,
right.
Yeah, why is that?
That's the way, this looks like a super suit, and we got to give them muscles, big muscles.
But even if you look at Superman, in the 60s, like, those guys were not. They look like Babe Ruth in baseball. Like, look, Babe Ruth was a heavy.
Well, that's also the way
guy.
The art has evolved, where it was like, it was like they dealt more with story, but then also like people could relate to the heroes that they were seeing in the books, right? Where the women were drawn the way that society viewed women.
Yeah.
Still to this day, but back then it was even more so. Like, you put her like she could be a superhero, but you had to somehow incorporate this kind of pleated skirt thing.
A bikini.
Yeah.
But it's like, now it's, it became more evolved. Like, you still see they're like, let's scantily clad this woman. Like I'm like, Wonder Woman has gone through so many changes. People like were plotting like, oh yeah, they probably put some pants on her. Like, oh
Yeah.
no, let's put her back in a bikini. We need to see one. Like this is not the Wonder Woman that people want to see. They want to see Wonder Woman in her bikini. You know, like she
Yeah.
can't have armor, and like I'm disappointed. She's covered too. There's too much covering her. I'm
Well,
very disappointed. As a comic fan, I am very disappointed in his representation of Wonder Woman.
But it's everywhere. Think about it. Think about women in anime. Think about women in the video games you play.
Yeah.
We've decided
this
is
one of the
look.
biggest things. Here's some backlash for you, Joe. When Tomb Raider came out, like
Oh, yeah.
Tomb
Yeah, I
Raider,
remember
when
that, yeah.
first came out, the video game, like, oh, this is awesome. Like people just love, like she's running, you see her boobs bounce. But then
Yeah.
it's like, hey, let's make a movie. We get Angelina Jolie to play Lara Croft.
Yeah.
People like, wait, whoa. We need bouncy boobs. Lara Croft, like, is bouncy boobs. You giving us Angelina
Misogynistic.
Jolie? Like, what is wrong with you guys? Where's the boobage? We need boobage.
Wait, didn't Angelina Jolie have large boobs?
No, she
In
doesn't
that?
have like jiggly boobs. She has normal normal boobs.
She doesn't
Jiggly
have.
boobs.
She doesn't have what people
She
felt
doesn't?
like
I
Lara
guess I don't-
Croft.
No,
I guess I don't
she
really.
doesn't. But like, think of how dumb it is, right? Where people, not we, because that would not be me,
Oh,
but people
it's
are
you.
mad because they're like, oh my God, her boobs aren't going to be big enough. Or think of even Captain Marvel. She's a goddamn fighter pilot, dude. Like,
Yeah.
she's a whole ass fighter pilot.
Well,
Does her suit need to be
yeah.
skin tight when she's Captain Marvel?
Well, I think about the fighter pilot thing. I love the fact that how they've got this in there, that they didn't like rewrite or whitewash history and being like, oh, let's just pretend women have always been equal and been able to be fighter pilots. They were like, no, the only chance these ladies had to work on their skills was to test stuff because they weren't allowed to do it, and so I love the fact that they're both, when they get the chance to fly, that they're badass and they're like flying through canyon, and then just the whole thing about, I don't know, jumping all around, but when Carol, that whole flashback thing towards the end of the movie when she's getting pushed down by all these boys, like trying to play baseball. No, you're not good. She gets pushed down. She's a little girl getting pushed down, a little girl on the racetrack getting pushed down. You're going too fast. You can't do it. You don't belong here. And then she like stands up, and all the iterations of her standing up and just being like, fuck you, I'm doing this.
Being empowered.
Yeah, it was a
That's like,
wonderful moment for all women, and
so
this
real life.
movie is the only thing that women have going for them.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I was trying
Lord
to
Joe, you're gonna
TV.
get kicked out of your bed tonight.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm just kidding.
It is
No,
not,
but it was like a great moment, is all I'm saying.
but
Like,
it's a
just something.
powerful moment to acknowledge on a big scale
Yeah.
that being a woman in male dominated spaces is no joke.
Right.
And just because there aren't as many women in those careers like fighter pilots, obviously there are more today, still a male dominated area though.
And NASCAR
doesn't
drivers.
mean they aren't good, right? It doesn't mean they aren't great. You just have to like get through the shit. Like, what is it, G.I. Jane with Demi Moore? Like, there are reasons why there aren't women on the front line of tactical units, and it has nothing to do with skill sets, because some women can do a lot of shit. Some women can do shit men can't do. Some men, okay?
Yeah.
But if we
There-
decide, nope, you can't do that.
I love there's a quote from just this week. They've been talking about this female college football player who's not a kicker. It's the first one she's playing.
Oh, the
safety.
first woman she's the first woman
Yeah.
in collegiate football who isn't just the kicker. And I'm not saying just as an underscore, because
Right.
even to be a kicker
Right.
on a collegiate team of boys is no joke.
Yeah, it's definitely not
But
easy, but she plays safety, which is a
yeah,
tough position. You got to hit people. But her quote that I just read, I was surprised about, because they were like, hey, what do you think about being so small and being so little, because she's only 156 pounds or something, and I don't know, she's 5'7" or something. She was like, her quote was, well, I'm not the lightest person on the team, and I'm not the shortest. So that's she just
Yep.
left it at that. And I was like,
But it's the
boom,
truth.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's the truth. She's not. And I do love this next generation. There are more girls who are playing football in high school, which is fantastic. I can't wait to see what that looks like later, because sports are sports. As much as I don't understand sports ball, there are some people who want to play sports ball even when they are told they can't play a certain sport because they are girls, and I am here for it. I want them to kick all the ass.
But here's the question: are you going to hold her just as accountable when she forces somebody to give her a sexual massage like other players
Yes,
do?
I will hold everyone accountable
Okay.
because consent is key.
There you go.
We have no room for sexual harassment or misconduct, woman or man.
Just as Snoop Dogg said.
Is that a Snoop Dogg quote there?
I think so.
Nah,
Oh,
I
did we
doubt
lose
it.
Art? Art, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Were you getting upset?
I was very upset. I was very upset.
All right. So
Hopefully
we jumped
you were
around.
upset because you know we're right and not because you think the opposite.
Wait,
Well,
what?
So anyway, back to Carol Danvers. She's joining. They spar a little bit, she and Jude Law. And then this team that she's part of is called Star Force, is made up of Carol, Janrog, Minerva. Well, I guess she's not Carol, she's Veers now because they don't know her name's Carol. Janrog, Minerva, played by Gemma Chan, Korath.
You're saying it so aggressively.
Right.
What, Minerva?
Yeah.
It seems Minerva.
Just
I don't know.
say-
These
yeah, just say it
names
like
are
that,
kind of
yeah.
done.
It's just Minerva. You say it so
I
like
guess
Minerva.
because it was hyphenated.
Atlas is another one that's hyphenated. Korath, because I remember Korath from earlier movies. That guy, kind of cool that he's back in it. Atlas Alginas Perez Soto, and Bron Char, played by Rune Temti, I think is how you say it.
Atlas for Atlas. Is that what you're saying?
It says it's, according to this description, it's ATT-LASS, like a hyphen.
Yes, but you don't like when you say a
Atlas.
name, the hyphen's there, but you don't like pause.
Atlas. Janrog. Janrog? Atlas? Is it Atlas?
It was, but I could be wrong.
Atlas.
It's
It's
not
Lass.
Atlas.
Lass. Anyway, Bronchar. They head to the Kree Supreme Intelligence for a mission briefing. And Carol speaks to the Supreme Intelligence, which appears.
Oh, can I say? Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's back up a minute. Let's back up a minute, because I'm surprised you didn't stop to ask this question. But in my
AI.
what's the word I want to use? As me being a proxy for Andy, somewhat of a proxy for Andy.
Your substitute, Andy.
I would just like to say that the Star Force, which is what you were just alluding to, Joe, is a supervillain team appearing in an American. I can't say. I'm not going to. Star Force had their first appearance in Avengers number 346 in 1992. They're a Kree team of superpowered individuals
92.
brought together by the Supreme Intelligence.
So they were
substitute Andy
later. Yes.
Yeah. But and to be clear, just to be clear, Joe, the Supreme Intelligence is an artificial intelligence that rules the race known as the Kree. Okay? And the Supreme Intelligence, also known as Supremor, first appears in Fantastic Four number 65 and was created by Stan Lee and the great Jack Kirby.
Supremor. That's dumb.
Supremor. Sounds like something off of He-Man, right?
It's interesting that it's AI. I mean, I guess we call it AI now. Did they call it AI then? Artificial intelligence? I mean, it's just so prevalent now in our society and everything.
Mm-hmm. It's everywhere.
Like,
always been.
Yeah, my son was just telling me about this YouTuber he was watching who speaks French. He's a French guy. He doesn't speak English, but he's got a whole bunch of fans that are English speaking. And so he did like a live Q&A or something with them, using AI to like help him speak fluently
It's
in
like,
English. Like, yeah, and I was like, oh my God, he was like, it's so cool what AI can do. And it's like, we're just on the cusp of what it really can do, probably, but it's scary too on the things that we
it's
can.
scary because there are people, just like any new invention, right? You can take
Yeah.
it for ill intent. If we came up with a scientific cure for something, you could take it and turn it into a serum.
Yeah, bioweapon, a
Uh-huh.
soldier serum, whatever.
Right. So
And
like
yeah,
AI can be really helpful. I use it a lot at work because sometimes I don't want to think. Lord
yeah,
help
that's
me. I
scary
want to
though.
think on like certain things I need to write up, and I'm like, oh, just tell me what it needs to say, and it will tell me. ChatGPT becomes my best friend.
Oh yeah,
But it's also terrifying, yes, because we all seen that movie. What's the movie with Will Smith?
Idiocracy. Oh,
iRobot.
I
iRobot.
Robot. We all saw that.
I didn't. I was gonna say Idiocracy. Like
You didn't
we're
see
so
iRobot?
we're so dumb now that we don't even have to think. We have something that thinks for us. So we're just like, I know words anymore. I use chat. I need this to do my word because, like, think about, we don't know any phone numbers. I don't know anybody's phone number because my phone knows it. I don't know anything anymore because I just Google anything I need to know at the moment. I don't remember it. I just know that I can Google it. It's like I know nothing. And so AI, the
You
more it
have to
develops,
intentionally aim to know more. I'm gonna say there are people who know more because there are like readers and whatever. You're always digging for information. But there is a large majority of society who doesn't dig or search for additional information.
yeah.
And we know that AI can, like, I saw a news story, I think it was Dateline or somewhere, where it's like talking about deep fakes.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
how
scary.
AI like completely can change. Like, you think you're watching a video that's real. Like, you could send me a video of art saying really nice things to me, and I'd be like, "This is a deep fake." This is
Why does he? So you said I can't say really nice things to you
not
on my own?
consistently. Not consistently. It would not last long. Then I would know it's a deep fake. Or if you sent me a video of Joe like not in love with art, then I'd be like, oh, that's not real Joe.
Because I am in love with art.
We all know it's out there. I don't think you can hide it. I don't think anywhere you can go.
I mean, how can you not be in love with art?
I already hit Joe up with this, but I was kind of hoping Andy was here so I could now ask Andy. But like, me and TBJ, I think it was Thursday or Friday we talked about this, and then I saw you, Joe. What day was it? I saw you. Was it Saturday?
And I have no idea what day that was.
It was Saturday, and I asked Joe, how often does he think about the Roman Empire?
Oh yeah, you were gonna ask them.
And I had showed him a text from my daughter who had texted me that question while I was in Louisville. I will also say, she didn't realize that I was in Louisville. I had been there for 2 days and she didn't know I was in Louisville. She thought I was at
Your
work.
daughter who lives in your house had not noticed that you were gone for 2 days.
No, she thought I was just, because often I'll come home after she's in bed and I'll leave.
I mean, we are in festival time, so she could just think.
She said, I thought you were at work. And I was like, no, I was in Louisville, Kentucky. And
did you answer?
Yeah, she texted me that. How often do you think about the Roman Empire? My answer was,
wait for his answer. Wait for it.
My answer at first was, well, why do you ask? She's like, just answer. And I said, 2-3 times a week. I think is what I said.
See?
And then she said, be more specific. Where is my text with my daughter? Let's see. Yeah, she said, I got to scroll past all the iPhones she's sending me pictures of that she wants me to buy her.
New phone time.
She said, yeah, how often though? Like, be more specific. I said, every 7 weeks and 3 days. Yeah. There we go.
There you go.
My daughter's crazy.
No, it's a trend. We were talking about
it's a trend. Yeah, which I didn't realize. So she's always on top of the trends. I always have to ask her whenever I
Well, she is a young lady, so that makes sense.
Yeah, she's a freshman in high school. She's going to homecoming. A boy asked her. but it's a
Ew.
boy that she doesn't like. He likes her, but she doesn't like him that way. But she's still
As
going
long
with
as
him.
she's honest,
Yeah.
it's
But-
a-okay to just go with your friends.
Very sweet that he wrote her a note and said, "You're such a good person. You make me want to be a better person." And
That is sweet.
That's a freshman in high school saying that shit. So
He needs to hold on to that energy.
yeah.
Don't change.
Well, she knows him because he's got a sibling that's in my wife's class, special needs class, and my daughter volunteers in there a lot. So is really good with his little sister, I think.
So he has some ingrained empathy because he's had to grow up with a differently abled individual.
A lot of people,
Joe.
generally people like that do have empathy built in because they.
Well, you've had to learn how to adjust, right? You've learned to adjust your routines. You've learned to take someone else into consideration.
Yep.
And
you want people to treat your sibling like a person.
You treat them
with respect.
So your ability to navigate the world is a little kinder than someone who's never had to think about other people a lot.
Yep. So they get to the Supreme Intelligence for a mission briefing.
I know.
And when Carol speaks to it, it appears to her as the same woman she saw in her dream, because they say it appears to you as somebody you admire. She said, but I don't know this person.
Joe is going to go home and research because she's a freaking American icon.
Annette Bening. Oh, I just remember what I think she's most known for probably is didn't she play the First Lady in a president show about presidents?
President show?
I could be wrong.
And Joe, could you be more specific?
The White House or
Excelsior.
Joe.
What is she known for? She played Lady Macbeth in 1984.
She's done a lot of crazy good roles.
Theater.
She's also married to Hollywood royalty also.
Oh, that's right. She was married to Warren Beatty since 1992.
Yeah.
American President. She was in that.
That's the thing you remember her.
No, I guess not. I don't know. Postcards from the Edge, Bugsy, Richard the Third. I haven't seen any of these. Oh, she won the BAFTA Award for Best Actress in American Beauty.
Yeah.
I know I saw that. She was in The Grifters, Being Julia, Kids Are All Right. I haven't seen any of those.
It's all right. It's really good.
On TV, she played all the characters in Designing Women. I'm just kidding. I had you going. You believed that for a minute. You thought you were.
No, I know who's on Designing Women. I still tune in occasionally, so no.
Oh, she's in The Great Outdoors. That was her best work.
Is that what you know her for?
Yes, that's what I know her from.
Done. You're like Annette Bening. Done.
Mars Attacks. She was in that.
That's what you know her
for. The Siege. Yeah, I don't see good movies. I just see dumb movies. Thus, so the other day I was listening to, speaking of dumb movies, I was listening to Conan O'Brien had Jane Fonda on there, and he kept mentioning these movies that she was in. I kept waiting for him to say Barbarella, and he didn't mention Barbarella once.
She probably has in her contract. Don't you talk to me about goddamn Barbarella.
Were you disappointed?
I was. Because he was saying how much he was in love with her. Like, I had a huge crush on you. I saw you when I was a little kid. I saw you in. I was like, oh, he's going to say Barbarella. And he didn't.
I'm sure she has in her agreement in interviews that no one talks about that damn movie. If she doesn't, she should.
I love the fact that TBJ had to watch Barbarella because of our podcast.
I'm glad you love that fact. I hate it. I hate that fact. And I carry that hate in my heart aggressively.
To this day.
I think I'm going to start introducing you to people as, hey, this is Tiffany Bryant Jackson. She's seen Barbarella.
And she hates it.
I want to add that part.
You got to throw Barbarella. You got to say Barbarella and Howard the Duck.
Also hated it. Yeah.
This is Barbarella and Howard the Duck watcher, Tiffany Bryant Jackson.
And I will immediately say, and hated both. These were not choices of mine. These were not things I wanted to watch. But here we are. And if I never see Barbarella again in my entire life, if I never see a poster, if I never see anything,
I
we're
can't
okay.
wait to.
And it's
I can't
not
wait to
Jane
see
Fonda
what Joe
herself.
picks next time.
Yeah, she wasn't the problem with it. It was just the
No,
endless
she
misogyny, and I mean, it wasn't good anyway.
no, it wasn't. But at the time, it was touted as like, oh my God, this is what happens when you let like white dudes say, I'm going to get real artsy.
Yeah.
And by real artsy, they mean extra pornographic with space things.
I really wanted to see it, honestly, because it was a pop culture reference that I wasn't familiar with, that you hear people say here and there, and it's like, what is this? Like, somebody referenced Flash Gordon, Barbarella as like a, it's Barbarella, Flash Gordon-esque, and I was like, I haven't seen either one of those, so I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Maybe watch Barbarella first.
But now I know.
Yeah,
and Flash Gordon, I've watched clips of it. It's like, okay, same vein.
I'm warning you, if you in this fall holiday movie pick something so dumb, I will come to your
Well,
house.
I do think we need to talk about the Star Wars holiday special.
Listen, I'm not opposed to that.
Have you watched
to your
it?
house. Huh?
Have you watched it?
Started, I never finished it.
The one with B. Arthur? There's a lot of bad parts to get through that are really bad.
I'm saying to you, if you pick something that is horrific this holiday season, what I'm meant to be in my joyous season, and you tamper with that emotion,
you know what?
I
Really,
will come to your house and bury you in your own backyard.
What we should do, TBJ, for you, actually, this would be for you, and I guess for us fellas too, is we should be forced to watch those Hallmark Christmas movies.
But here's the thing:
them sometimes
you wouldn't be forcing me though. See,
yeah, Art watches them sometimes,
right? Yeah, so it wouldn't be a force for me. It would be almost like
it'd be forcing
Art and
me.
I don't agree on a lot of things, but two things Art and I can agree on. One, Art can sit down and watch a rom-com and not be ashamed. Art can also read a book that I suggest, and we're cool. Those are the only two things in the universe Art and I can agree on.
Well, let me ask you this: is Drake Hogestyn in any of these Hallmark movies?
I'm sure he probably look him up. He might play in one of them in something.
Drake Hogestyn Hallmark movies. Oh yes. Hallmark has welcomed Days of Our Lives star Drake Hogestyn, who plays John Black, to its enviable family. He's starring in the network's upcoming holiday film.
Did you name him because he was in Days of Our Lives?
Christmas Tree Lane.
Yeah,
because I could just see him. He seems like the kind of guy that would be in a Hallmark movie. He's going to be in Christmas Tree Lane.
Movies.
Oh, he was in Christmas Tree Lane 2020. Have you heard of that movie?
That should be your pick. Yeah.
Listen, if you want to know how, and sorry, listeners, God bless it, we've talked about 2 seconds worth of Captain Marvel. But if you want to know how ridiculous I am about Hallmark Christmas movies, okay, on the app, you can tell the app that you want to watch all the new ones that release, and then you can go on and check them off as they appear. And I do that because then if I miss something, I go, oh no, I missed that one, and I look for the next time it'll air. So I don't miss any Hallmark Christmas movies between the 2 channels. There are 2 channels that air new.
There's 2?
There's regular Hallmark. Well, there's technically 3 Hallmark channels, but 2 release new Christmas movies. There's the regular Hallmark channel, and there's Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. But during the holidays, they also release brand new holiday movies.
Okay, let me ask you a question about Hallmark movies while we're on this.
Sure, you sure can.
Is there a Hallmark movie universe? Like, are they like, is it like
there is a con? There is a con.
There's a con?
There is a con.
There's a con for everything, Joe. You should know
Wait,
this.
go to this con. Is it just people
I've never
crying?
gone. It is in my dreams. It is a dream.
People hugging and crying wearing sweaters?
It's like the same thing you have at your con. Like, they have celebrities that are famous in that world that are there. They have booths. There are things you can buy. There are panels you can go to. It's the same as any other con.
But do these movies, like, are they interconnected? Is it like, I don't know, whoever Sissy Spacek is in this one, is she also playing the same character in another movie?
Often there are a couple, especially this summer, they did a series of, well, no, they've done two this year where it's like a series of Friends. So we'll watch like one Friends movie, but the other friends appear, and then we'll watch the next Friends movie, and then her friends appear in that one. So all three friends are in all the movies. They just each get their own main movie.
You mean Friends from the TV show Friends, like Jennifer
No,
Aniston? Or
Tiffany
just
does
Friends?
not watch the TV show Friends because that show has zero Black people in the city of New York City.
Well, I was wondering why you're so into them in this.
I am
Hallmark
not into Friends. Okay, Jennifer Aniston, all those folks.
Well, Ross dated Aisha Tyler. I love Aisha Tyler.
For 2 seconds. That came later in the series. It's like you're in New York City, and
yeah,
all these
where are the
Black
Black people?
actors,
There's no Black people at
like,
all.
They don't have to be the main characters, but you're telling me you walk through an entire city with no diversity.
That's funny.
Not in the Midwest. This is New York.
Yeah. I got more Hallmark questions. So, I mean, is like a Hallmark is just it's on that channel. Like if it's on that channel, it becomes a Hallmark Christmas movie.
They specifically make and produce their own movies. So think of them like 1920s Hollywood studio lots, right? These actors work for this movie lot.
Gotcha.
Sometimes they're loaned out to another movie lot, but this is their main lot. And so the writers and producers work specifically on content for these actors because they are contracted in.
Like Tyler Perry.
Like that. Okay. So and then one more question. Like, so is another thing that makes them Hallmark Christmas movies is they have to be terrible.
Terrible.
I just can't, like terrible acting and awful writing. Or are they good?
But that's a misconception. Now, I'm not going to say that there are some that I would like to throw a remote at, but there are really good people on those movies.
Okay, so if you watch one that's crappy like that, do you like immediately cleanse your palate with one that you know is good?
Depends. If it's really, I have a hard time not finishing things, and it's the same thing with books.
Okay.
So I would try and power through it just so I can be like, that sucked. And also so I can check it off my list that I watched it.
So that list you have, you can also watch them in any order, right? Like the order doesn't matter
when it airs. Like it's an Hallmark app. Like you open it.
Got you.
So Hallmark releases movies in different seasons. So right now we're in the fall in love season. So there's all fall themed movies, right? And so I can watch
the fall in love season.
It's fall something season, but yes, it's very similar to that. It's like fall into something. I can't remember if it's love. I can't remember right now, but like their seasons have a title and they have certain amount of new releases during each season. So it's fall, it's spring, it's summertime, it's Christmas time, and winter time.
And do any of these movies make you cry ever?
Yes.
They do.
Hallmark movies and mysteries, Christmas movies tend to be a little more dramatic. So like, oh no, I need to get this heart transplant. And if I don't get this heart transplant, life might be over.
Yeah.
And the whole town rallies. So that can get emotional. Or like, I'm serving in the military and I have to deploy and everybody's waiting for me to come home. So those tend to have more of like an emotional twist.
Yeah.
Then the regular movies are mainly the rom-coms.
Okay. Have you ever learned, like, have you ever watched one and saw some woman do something savvy to win a man's heart and then thought, oh, I'm going to try that and then try it?
Well, I'm never trying to win a man's heart. So
they better be coming for your heart.
I think we talked about this. There are only about a handful of men in this entire universe where I'm like, yes, he can. Most of them, I'm like, please go to therapy. Thank you. So 1, no. 2, I don't chase, I attract. 3, no, because it's not always the woman. Some of them star the male falling in love and changing.
Yeah, like Drake Hogestyn, who's the greatest actor of all time.
I didn't watch Stories, so I don't know.
If you Google Drake Hogestyn, you'll probably know if he was in it.
And you'll probably fall in love.
And you probably fall in love. He's the sexiest man alive.
Like one of his younger pictures. Like you were like, ooh, Drake.
He's always got one eyebrow.
Does he look like a Hemsworth?
No, he's a little more hairy than that. He not
a Cheeto? Is he a Cheeto?
No, he's like
not an Anthony Mackie.
He has this energy about him.
Then I don't want him.
Say like ooh, whoa, I need this guy in my
He's
life.
got like a
gave
big
you
mole
nice
on his
standing.
face,
He like takes charge.
and he whispers everything with one eyebrow up. Doc.
It's like a take charge. He grabs you by the collar.
Is it a
If you
whisper
hurt her,
whisper
I'll
or
kill
a
you.
Batman whisper?
It's like a whisper.
But
He's a
not
cop on Days of Our
Batman
Lives, I
whisper.
think.
It's like a Christian Bale whisper.
So like a Batman whisper.
You wear a mask, not because you're trying to hide your face, but you for the people you love, or some shit like that. He said to JGL.
But at this point in Captain Marvel, the team must head to another planet to rescue a Star Force operative named Solar, which I think is a dumb name. Their name's just Solar. Solar?
Solar.
Played by Chuku
You
Modu.
think everything is dumb.
And Solar is from an alien race. Oh, no, wait. They have to rescue an operative from the alien race known as the Skrulls,
Yes.
who are, we're told that they're evil. They're the enemy of the Kree. And I remember at this point in the thing, I was like, okay, yeah, the Skrulls are bad, because I remember I had like a coloring book when I was a kid with Skrulls in it, I think. And I remember thinking they were evil. So that's what I was going to ask you guys and Professor Andy, like, is this whole movie about Skrulls not being bad and really being good a new thing, or did the comics make that a thing, or do we not know?
But you have if like I feel like it's one of those things where you have like the Shi'ar, you have the Kree, and you have like the Skrulls. So it's like a lot of times the line between good and bad is extremely blurred.
It's blurred.
Like just like the Skrulls
It's a
are
very
like
art answer.
Yeah.
listen.
Like a Sith answer.
They're a race of people, right? So it's like you have your like this episode has kind of gone off the rails. Like I already had things in my head where I was going to be like, there's an Easter chicken moment that none of you.
Listen,
none of
we've
you
been
probably-
off the rails this whole time, and I'm about to
but
tell you
listen,
to call it.
there's an Easter chicken moment that none of you guys will even get.
Yeah.
There is
Not even Andy won't even get it?
Andy he wouldn't get it either. He would like the fact like, okay, I mentioned
Because he's a
it
dumbass,
as an
right?
Easter chicken, but because we're watching this movie and now already has Secret Invasion. It's like a lot of shit that's going on in there. You also you see the ramifications from Captain Marvel in Secret Invasion.
Okay.
So anywho, so you have like the Kree are kind of like viewed as being like throughout the MCU and Marvel television shows, the Kree have been always like the evil ones. Like in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
The
The
Kree-
Kree has. Okay.
But like the Skrulls are they're a race of people. So it's like just like humans, right?
Yeah, there's good and bad. Yeah.
There's good and bad. So it's not. It's
Well,
just depending
the
on who you like these Skrulls that we've seen now. You have Talos and what's the other guy name? Damn it, why can't I think of it?
the other Skrull?
Yeah, the funny looking older Skrull.
I
But
can't
like,
remember.
so
But
they're doing what they're doing for like the greater good of their people.
yeah.
Like even Talos even said that he has like basically he says this is war. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did say, I have my hands are dirty too. This
Yeah.
is war.
But
And
like
we
even
haven't
in-
always been good. Yeah.
in
same
war
thing.
period. It's
Yeah.
like everyone's like I've always even though I'm a Sith, I've always felt like when it comes to war, it's like a lot of people, you're fighting other countries,
Yeah.
like not everyone's evil, but then it's also like there's certain countries where they're forced to join the military.
Yeah.
Like we have this luxury here where we're not forced to join the military. We're not sent to go fight people we have no beef against because our dictator, but like that doesn't make us bad guys. We're trying to live.
Yeah.
This is it happens. So I won't say that the Skrulls.
So
are
you're not
bad.
saying they're good or bad. You're just
Yeah.
saying they're a race of people.
But the
Or
motivation
multi-layered.
behind the Kree is to dominate, and that these Skrulls just want to live their lives and
Right.
get away and don't want to fight, kind of thing. So it's like a peaceful group of Skrulls. So yeah, okay. Well, yeah.
Now I'm gonna say, just for the sake of time, we've been talking for like an hour.
Yes.
and have barely gotten into the movie. And I say we call it.
Yeah,
say we
and just
call it.
pick up. We'll pick up here. We just got the intro. We dipped our toe in it.
Yeah.
And we want to get back.
We could basically call
Welcome to our
the
deep dive into
pre-Captain
Hallmark
Marvel.
Christmas movies and Joe's bad choices in movies and not knowing who Annette Bening is. That's this episode.
Or
And-
the time Andy wasn't here.
But yeah, we just
Andy was sick.
But we did establish the beginning characters and everything and what she's going to go on, and we know that she doesn't really remember where she's from or who she is and all that. We're gonna have to go on this journey to figure it out.
We have a base.
So we have a base, and we got some really good things about Hallmark. I got some answered for me for Hallmark movies. Like I kind of want to see the four of us.
I'm gonna pick one. Fine. I'm gonna have
Hallmark movies.
I'm gonna have a Hallmark Christmas when I get the new season added to my phone of what's coming. I'm gonna pick one that I think will be good for us all to watch. You know, they filmed one in Charlotte before. Note.
Yes, at the Belk with Kristen Chenoweth, right?
Yep.
Is she in a lot of? That's what's gonna be my other question. Is she in a lot of these?
She's only done one Hallmark movie for Christmas, but there's another one coming out this year that was filmed at the Biltmore. So North Carolina's the shit.
North Carolina, baby.
And then Art Star did a great job as substitute Andy for some facts.
Yeah, that was good work, Art Star.
Yeah.
Good job.
You are not only better looking than Andy. Yeah, you're better in bed than Andy, and you're better at that than Andy.
You know how Andy is in bed. He's your brother.
I've watched a lot of adult films that he's made over the years.
Yeah, no, let's cut that out. We also learned that some nerds can be douches, hence the backlash against Brie Larson that Joe's going to go research when he gets
I'm going to look some of that up and
see how bad people were treating her for taking a role.
Yeah.
This is like before the movie even came out. Like this is like pre-movie release. Larson.
Well, and I did find out that she was, because I was trying to figure out like what did I know her from before this, if anything, and they said she got her start in sketches on Jay Leno in the 90s, in the early 90s, or something like that. And so I watched those sketches, and you definitely couldn't tell it was her. I mean, she was like a little girl. I remember seeing Scarlett Johansson as a little girl on Conan, and you could tell that's Scarlett Johansson. But Brie Larson, I can't tell it's her. She's just, and that was it to me too. She just seemed, Brie Larson to me seems like just a nondescript white girl. Like she doesn't stand out to me. It's like a lot of famous actresses are.
She doesn't ScarJo you.
Yeah. Like ScarJo's very particular looking. Like I'm not saying Brie Larson's not attractive. She's beautiful, but she's
very beautiful.
But she just,
Brie Larson's a gamer too.
Oh, that's kind of cool. She just, to me, she's just like, I don't know. She just seems like every other. But again, I haven't seen her in a lot.
Because you didn't even know who the hell Annette Bening was, so I don't trust your judgment.
I knew Annette Bening was the star of Happy Days. No, but she was. There is Happy Days in it. It's Fonzie. So we know this is the other thing, and we'll get into this next time. But
he's also done some Hallmark movies.
Well, who? Henry Winkler?
Yep.
Fonzie. Well, Fonzie and Happy Days is part of the MCU now because they had that Fonzie lunchbox. So that means Donnie Most is part of the MCU.
You're just gonna add everybody in.
That's all officially now. Happy Days, and then Happy Days leads to Mork from Ork is part of the MCU now, and because that was a spinoff. And there's a bunch of things. Laverne and Shirley is now because that was part of it, so that's now part of the MCU. So that means Lenny and Squiggy are the MCU. Later when she's in the Blockbuster,
you think you're doing there, but I don't think it's doing what you think it is.
She shoots the True Lies poster. That means Arnold Schwarzenegger is now part of the MCU,
and she picks up the right stuff.
The right stuff, and that's on purpose, right?
Yeah.
And behind her, there's that VHS copy of Jumpin' Jack Flash. So now Whoopi Goldberg is part of the MCU. So we're getting everybody in there without Deborah Jo Rupp.
I'm glad the Joe verse is working.
Yes.
All right, nerds, we're gonna go because we're
waiting for is Tiffany to end it by saying the E word.
No.
We can't end it till Tiffany says Excelsior.
We gotta go.
Man, I will leave us on this screen and go eat food. Okay.
What are you gonna eat? Burritos?
No, I'm probably just gonna make myself my little version of a Lunchable because I don't feel like making anything.
When's the last time you had a burrito?
And
I
did
don't
you
really like
enjoy it?
burritos.
TBJ
Did you
hates
enjoy
burritos.
your
She doesn't
burrito?
hate burritos. I'd just rather have a bowl. I don't really need anything.
What would you rather
wrapped.
have, a burrito or a taco?
Taco.
Do you ever go to Taco Bell?
Yes.
What's
Did
your
you
what's
run
your
for the
go-to?
border?
What's your order at Taco Bell?
Depending on my mood, it's either 2 crunchy tacos and a wild cherry freeze.
Ooh.
Or if I am aiming for something healthier, I will get a Power Bowl with no sour cream chicken.
Have you ever had a cheesy gordita crunch?
No,
Oh my
What about
God.
a
It's so good.
quesadilla?
I am not ordering a quesadilla from Taco Bell. I'll just make a quesadilla at home.
Do you ever get the sauces, the packets?
Nope.
Hot
No
sauce?
sauces.
No sauces? No
So you don't
fire
get, like, the
sauce?
fire?
No, I don't like it. I don't like a lot of condiments in general.
What?
So I don't. Yeah, it's very.
Oh,
Listen, I'm a little neurospicy, so
I
I'm
love
very particular
condiments.
about when I have condiments and what it goes on. I
Art
don't.
Star, what about you? Hot, mild, or
dip.
fire?
Well,
Or
when
Diablo?
I was younger, it was all about the fire. But I got older, and my anxiety doesn't let me do too much spicy, just because I don't like that feeling like my heart rate is elevated and
Ooh.
my chest is gonna. And then there's also the after effects, right? I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta get a bidet. Once you have a bidet, all
you say-
spices.
so you
on
say-
it.
but it's still like the bidet can't stop the extruding. It can't help the extruding.
It cleans up afterwards, though.
But it's the coming out part. It's the coming out part.
The
that hurts.
heat coming out, you don't like.
Right.
So
No
you
one
don't
should
even
like
do
that.
fire anymore?
First off, ArtStar does not do Taco Bell.
Oh,
ArtStar.
So you're better than us?
oh,
I'm
you are
not-
better
I'm
than
not-
us.
I'm not, but ArtStar does not do Taco Bell because Taco Bell has always been unkind to ArtStar. So ArtStar does not do Taco
You just
Bell.
mean you don't eat Taco Bell on the toilet, but you still eat Taco Bell. Just
I
not
don't
on the-
eat Taco Bell at all because I know like
The
Taco
toilets.
Taco Bell to me is like it's like for instance, like back in the day, like they don't have Checkers here, but Checkers sells this banana milkshake, right? It's a really good milkshake, but it's like instant X-Lax for So Taco Bell to me is like that food that you get if you need a good cleaning out. That's all I'm saying. Like I don't mess with Taco Bell.
Oh, I like fire, and Diablo is just too. It just doesn't taste good. I like fire, so. And I still eat the spicy stuff, and I love the cheesy gordita crunch. And maybe they'll sponsor us, but they probably won't now because you just said you hate it.
Well,
And
it's
Tiffany
not like
hates
I said-
burritos.
Hey, listen. It's
Hey,
okay.
burritos. I just rather
okay.
a bowl.
I like Chipotle.
I don't. Yeah, it's probably good.
Chipotle is fine. I just ate Chipotle the other day.
You
All
get
right,
you a
what's your
burrito,
go-to at Chipotle?
Either sofritos. I like the carne asada, but for the most part, it's sofritos. I love the sofrito.
I like Sabor better than Chipotle.
Yeah, sabor is cool too. I had fish tacos with sabor the last time I had sabor.
Sabor's all right. I do like Chipotle because I can make a bowl. I think it all boils down to Tiffany making a bowl. And what she
Tiffany
puts in
wants
her bowl.
bowls of meat and cheese.
Not that much cheese because
love
I like a good digestive system.
Exactly. This,
love cheese.
this episode ended way differently.
I just
than
read
it
that
normally
the
ends.
more cheese you eat, the smarter you are.
Yeah, that's probably not true, but
I don't know
cool.
if that's right.
Or you could be smarter, but man, are you backed up? So
Yeah.
pick your poison.
I like going to the bathroom.
No, cut that.
Art Star, how was the last bowel movement?
No, turn it off.
Turn it
We're
off.
done talking about the toilet.
Thank you for listening to the Nerd School podcast.
They say I can't rap about the president no more, but evidently they don't see we in the streets still poor. Still more incarceration of my kinsmen by the prisons, and people thinking this election to end in racism. Proud over pessimism, glad to see Obama, but don't expect me not to speak out when I still see problems, Mr. Officer. Now they POTUS look like me, you gon' think again when seeing brothers rolling down the street. Every Martin Luther King on his American dream. Still a Rodney being beaten, screaming fuck the police. Me, I'm running through the passage, trying to get away from master, but the dogs is on my ass, I gotta move a little faster. Can't pass for Caucasian, but I got a couple papers from the plantation saying I graduated. Congratulations, cool beans, but to most school mean trying to dodge STDs, living off government cheese. Trust the government, please. Not even if it was me sitting in the Oval Office as commander-in-chief, trying to give us free, but there's a nigga in my ear saying, you got it, Superman, you ought to keep it here. Get this distinctly clear, I'm all about jetting. Raps Kunta Kinte without the half-stepping. A new chapter, back with new lessons. After that, the final exam. Any questions?
QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.